realized you've got it all.
Shit, man. I'm a natural born killer.
If there was one VHS I wore out in the 90s, it was Natural Born Killers. This Oliver Stone classic deals with the media and the public's obsession with violence and serial killers. Based on a script by Quentin Tarantino, who has distanced himself from this film, even publishing a paperback version of the original script and saying, "I hated that fucking movie. If you like my stuff, don't watch that movie." The film starts with Mickey and Mallory Knox, played by Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis, eating at a diner in the New Mexico desert. A couple of rednecks arrive and one begins to harass Mallory as she dances by a jukebox. She initially encourages him before beating him viciously. Mickey joins her and the couple murder everyone in the diner except for one. This opening scene sets the tone for the entire movie, and that this film is going to be one brutal, psychedelic, and unpredictable ride. Cutting between color to black and white, and then to cartoons to stock footage, there is even a shot where the camera follows a bullet as it finds its victim. It's a quick comedic edit in an otherwise brutal scene. These types of cuts and semi-linear story definitely had the editor working overtime. Stone cast Woody Harrelson partly because he had that American trashy look. At the time, Harrelson was primarily known for his comedic performance on the sitcom Cheers, and lucky for us, Stone was compelled to cast him against that type. We then cut to Mickey and Mallory reminiscing about how they met, which is told in the style of a TV comedy. We find out that Mallory's father, played by Rodney Dangerfield, sexually abuses her. Mickey, a meat delivery man, steals the family car with Mallory, and they run away together. Later they get caught and Mickey is sent away for Grand Theft Auto. Mickey breaks out of jail and comes to rescue Mallory in the middle of the night. After they brutally murder her father, Mallory then sets her mother on fire because she never did anything. They spare Mallory's brother, telling him he is free, with him becoming the original one left to tell a tale. After tossing away remnants of their past, they start anew in a self-marriage ceremony. The couple then go on a murder spree which is profiled on the show American Maniacs, sending them into cult hero status. Wayne Gale, played by Robert Downey Jr., functions in this film as a figurehead of true crime television documentaries, which recycle real-life incidents of violence and criminal activity into entertainment for the general public. Tracking them is Detective Jack Scagnetti, played by Tom Sizemore, the antagonist of the film. He becomes obsessed with mass murderers at the age of 8 after having witnessed the murder of his mother at the hands of Charles Whitman. Beneath his hero facade, he is a violent psychopath and has an affliction for murdering prostitutes. Mickey and Mallory become lost in the desert after eating shrooms. They stumble upon a ranch owned by Warren Red Cloud, a Navajo man who provides them with food and shelter. As Mickey and Mallory sleep, Warren, sensing evil in the couple, attempts to exorcise the demon that he perceives in Mickey. Chanting over him as he sleeps, Mickey, who has nightmares of his abusive parents, awakens during the exorcism and shoots Warren to death. As the couple flee, they feel guilty and come across a giant field of rattlesnakes, where they are badly bitten. They reach a drugstore to purchase snakebite juice, but the store is sold out. A pharmacist recognizes the couple and triggers an alarm before Mickey kills him. Police arrive shortly and attempt to arrest the couple, and a shootout ensues. The police end the showdown by beating the couple while a news crew films the action. 1 year later, the imprisoned Mickey and Mallory are thought to be criminally insane and are scheduled to be transferred to psychiatric hospitals, with Scagnetti overseeing the transfer. Meanwhile, Gale has persuaded Mickey to submit to a live interview that will air after the Super Bowl. During the interview, Mickey declares himself a natural-born killer, inspiring the other inmates to start a prison riot. The interview here parodies Geraldo Rivera's jailhouse interview with Charles Manson. After Warren McCluskey terminates the interview, Mickey is left alone with Gale, the film crew, and several guards. He manages to overpower a guard and kill most of the people in the room, taking Gale and several others hostage. Gale and his film crew give a live television report that profiles the riot. Meanwhile, when Scagnetti attempts to seduce Mallory in her cell, she beats him viciously before another guard subdues her with tear gas. Mickey and Gale reach Mallory's cell, where Mickey kills the guards and engages in a Mexican standoff with Scagnetti before Mallory murders him. Gale's entire television crew is killed trying to escape the riot, while Gale himself begins shooting at prison guards, indulging in violence. Mickey and Mallory steal a van and escape into the woods with Gale, to whom they give a final interview before declaring that he must die. He attempts various arguments to change their minds, appealing to their trademark practice of leaving one survivor. Mickey informs him that they are leaving a witness to tell a tale, his camera. Gale accepts his fate and is shot to death, with the entire exchange being transmitted to a horrified news anchor. As the credits roll, Mickey and Mallory, still fugitives, travel in an RV as a pregnant Mallory watches their 2 children play. There's an alternate ending where Owen, who is kind of a guardian angel to Mickey and Mallory in the film, turns out to be one of the random forces of nature that Mickey and Mallory have based their murders on. I myself prefer this ending to the original, as they get what they deserve, as opposed to them literally getting away with murder. The film has been criticized in news for encouraging violence. Ironically, the film's theme is the news being obsessed with violence. Tragically, this film did serve as inspiration for copycat murders, including the Heath High School shooting and the Columbine High School massacre. The Columbine killers even named their attack NBK, an acronym for Natural Born Killers. Being a huge horror fan, I'm opposed to any type of censorship in art, and definitely the argument that movies like this create psychos. It's tragic that there are even people who use this movie as inspiration for any type of violence. With the rise in popularity of true crime documentaries on almost all streaming services today, this movie is still relevant over 25 years later. Check it out.